We're the Chews, and we've traveled to over 60 countries finding ways to see the world more affordably. This time, we're covering St. Thomas and the U.S. Virgin Islands, one of the most accessible Caribbean destinations for Americans. But before you book, there are things about this island that will genuinely surprise you, and a few that could catch you off guard if you don't know about them. So stick with us. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to expect, how to get around affordably, the best beaches, what to eat, and when to go. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss this one.
What's up, explorers? Welcome back to our channel. It's the Choose here from Choose to Explore, where we teach you guys how to see the world
and save $1.
So we just came back from an amazing trip through the Caribbean, and the best part is, as a U.S. citizen, we didn't even need a passport in order to get there. We visited St. Thomas, one of the Virgin Islands, and we had an amazing time. But while it was easy to get here, there is so many things to eat, to see, to do, to explore, and you don't want to miss this one, guys.
If you show up without knowing these things, your trip is already off to a rough start. So let's get into what you need to know before you go. So St. Thomas is a U.S. territory, so Americans travel here like a domestic flight. No passport needed.
But your state ID must be Real ID compliant. Check that you have proper ID before you book.
If you already have a passport, bring it anyway. It works fine, and it unlocks bonus trips to the nearby British Virgin Islands.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is how you're going to get there, and most importantly, how you're going to get there affordably.
So direct flights into St. Thomas can get pricey. The budget hack, though, is flying into San Juan, Puerto Rico first. Fares are often significantly cheaper, and then you hop on a 35-minute flight to St. Thomas.
And the best thing about going to Puerto Rico first is you really have a 2-for-1, or maybe a 3-for-1, or maybe a 4-for-1. Because between Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, there's a lot of different options to choose from, and every island has different culture, has different food, has different people, and you definitely want to explore it.
So we did this with JetBlue, and it turned our trip into a 2-destination Caribbean vacation.
And the best thing about going to Puerto Rico first versus going to St. Thomas first is that there are many different airlines that fly to Puerto Rico. There are many different routes that go to Puerto Rico, and with competition comes lower prices. So I think a budget hack is flying first to Puerto Rico and then getting on a quick little 35-minute hopper plane to St. Thomas.
And when you're ready to book your hotel, we use Plannin. It's a free platform that gives members up to 40% off hotels worldwide, plus cash back on every booking. And we'll drop our link to that below.
The next thing that we're going to talk about is getting around the island. And what we'd recommend is definitely driving in St. Thomas. So driving in St. Thomas is going to be a little bit different than driving in other U.S. territories, islands, or states. And this is because in St. Thomas, they actually drive on the opposite side of the road that we're used to as U.S. citizens.
They drive on the left side of the road. But unlike the UK, the cars here are imported from the US or other countries, so your steering wheel might actually be on the left or the right, depending on the rental car. You won't know until you get in.
Give yourself about 20 minutes to adjust, drive slowly at first, and do not panic.
Also, the roads are steep, narrow, and winding. This is a mountainous island, but that's also what makes it beautiful. The viewpoints on the way up are stunning. Drake's Seat Lookout is one of the best views in the entire Caribbean.
Budget more time for driving than you think you need.
Now we know everyone's not comfortable driving, especially if you have to switch which side of the road you're driving on, so there are other ways to get around St. Thomas.
So in St. Thomas, there is no Uber or Lyft. So if you don't want to rent a car, you can also take a taxi.
But taxis here are often open-air safari-style trucks, and they're licensed and safe, but they charge per person, so they add up fast as a couple.
There's also the cheap $2 safari bus that runs the main road across the island.
And we have a full breakdown of the routes and the rates inside of our Explore St. Thomas travel guide on choosetoexplore.com, and it's also linked below.
So while this video is about St. Thomas is one of the U.S. Virgin Islands, but there are many of them, and you should visit them. The best part is that you're a short ferry ride from multiple islands.
Yeah, so St. John actually has no airport. You get there by ferry with options from Red Hook, which takes about 20 minutes, Charlotte Amalie, which is about 45 minutes, or Crown Bay Marina at about 35 minutes, and they all arrive at Cruise Bay. And the tickets range from about $8 to $20. Red Hook is the most frequent and the cheapest, and it can easily be a day trip.
Now, St. Croix is more of an overnight trip. There's a ferry from Charlotte Amalie, which is the capital, that takes about 90 minutes for around $75 one way. Or you can do a quick 25-minute inter-island flight.
And if you're thinking about hopping over to the British Virgin Islands, you absolutely do need to bring your passport for that one.
All the details, routes, and current links are in an Explore St. Thomas travel guide linked on choosetoexplore.com.
Has this video been helpful so far? If so, give us a like, and also be sure to subscribe.
So the next thing that we're going to talk about is all things money and cost in St. Thomas.
So the US dollar is the currency here, and there's no exchange needed. Most places take credit cards, but you should have cash for taxis, ferry terminals, and local food trucks.
Now let me be clear, St. Thomas is not a budget destination by nature, but here's how we kept costs down in our 3-day trip.
So we booked our hotel through Planning to get the discounted rate, rented a car instead of taxis. We should have brought our own snorkel for the free beaches, but we forgot. And we kept the trip to only 3 days, which was enough to see the highlights without overspending.
The upside is that there are zero sales tax here. The U.S. Virgin Islands is duty free, and there's no sales tax on anything. That includes jewelry, rum, clothes, groceries. What you see is what you pay. So if you have someone who looks good and likes to overshop, like my wife, this is the place where you need to go. At least save on the taxes if you're going to be out on vacation, right?
So we also created a free budget travel starter kit for you, and it breaks down our mindset, the 5 habits that save us thousands every year, and a simple trip cost template so you can plan your next trip with confidence. And we'll have that linked below for you.
So the next thing that we're going to talk about is one of the main reasons why people even want to go to the U.S. Virgin Islands, and that's the islands and the beaches.
Yes, so Magens Bay is the most famous beach on the island, and it definitely lived up to the hype. But St. Thomas has over 40 beaches, and honestly, every single one we visited was stunning. You can't go wrong.
But we'll give you a choose to explore travel tip. St. Thomas is one of the busiest cruise ports in the Caribbean. When 2 or 3 ships are docked, Magens Bay gets packed.
Yes, so you should go to cruisemapper.com before your trip, and you can see exactly which days ships are in port and plan your beach days around it. Go early morning or on lighter cruise days.
Brewers Bay is a great alternative. It's on the University of Virgin Islands campus. It's mostly locals. It's just as beautiful, and it's free to access.
So during our time in St. Thomas, we actually visited so many beautiful beaches, and you can see that full experience on our full St. Thomas vlog right on our Choose to Explore channel, which we also have linked right above and below in the description. So St. Thomas isn't the only island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we only visited St. Thomas on this trip, but we're definitely going to go back to explore all of them.
St. Thomas is the most developed and the busiest. It's great for shopping, nightlife, waterfront dining, and using it as a base. It's also where the main airport is.
So St. John is 20 minutes by ferry from Red Hook. It's much quieter, more laid back, and a third of the island is actually a national park. It's known for some of the most pristine beaches in the Caribbean, and it's really great for nature lovers.
Another island to visit is going to be St. Croix, which is the largest of the 3 U.S. Virgin Islands. It's about 40 miles from St. Thomas, and it's known for its history, its diving, its local food scene, and it's more off the beaten path feel, more local.
Yes, so our suggestion is to use St. Thomas as your home base, and at a minimum, do a day trip to St. John. It's one of the easiest island hops you'll ever do. So now let's get into the food and drinks to try.
So one of the most famous things in St. Thomas is going to be the Bushwhacker, and that's actually the official drink of St. Thomas. So it's a frozen cocktail made with rum, Kahlua, coconut cream, and vanilla ice cream. It tastes like a milkshake that will sneak up on you. You will find them anywhere you go. Get one.
So we actually went to the restaurant that created this drink, and you can see that experience in our full vlog as well.
When I say that drink was kicking Liv's butt, that drink was kicking Liv's butt. Liv was faded.
Oh my gosh. It was really good though. But outside of the drink, St. Thomas has some incredible waterfront dining. There's freshly caught fish, there's conch fritters, there's lobster, and local food trucks are also fantastic and affordable. So we visited a few food trucks during our time in St. Thomas, and they were all standouts for authentic local flavor.
Also, I'd like to mention that tap water is technically safe to drink on St. Thomas, but we'd recommend a filtered water bottle if you're sensitive to the taste.
And one thing to note, that things close early on Sundays across the island. Restaurants, shops, even some grocery stores. So plan accordingly and stock up on a Saturday if needed.
Yeah, we were driving around late at night trying to get some food, and we're lucky that we found this one place that was open, but it was not easy. And while we're giving you guys some tips, let's give you a little bit more. So being that the U.S. Virgin Islands are a part of the U.S., they use the same U.S. outlets, so no adapters are needed for American devices, same as home.
Yes, and your regular U.S. phone plan works here. It counts as domestic, so there's no international roaming fees.
See the world, save $1. So one of the main reasons why people go to the U.S. Virgin Islands is because of the warm weather, the beautiful water, and the beautiful beaches. But you want to go when it's the best time to visit.
So peak season is December through March. It has the best weather, the least rain, most expensive. So if your budget is flexible, this would be the sweet spot for you.
Our recommendation for budget travelers is a shoulder season, and that's between April through June and November. It's going to be pleasant weather, fewer crowds, and better hotel rates. April also brings Carnival, one of the most vibrant cultural events on the island and in the Caribbean.
Now, hurricane season runs July through October, and that is when you'll find the lowest prices. But of course, you'll have risk of tropical storms, especially August through October. So if budget is a priority, this can work, but but I would recommend booking flexible rates. We visited in October and had pleasant weather the whole time, so it could work out in your favor.
The next thing that we're going to talk about is a priority when we travel, and that's your safety.
Yes, so overall, we felt completely safe during our time in St. Thomas. The locals were warm, they were welcoming, and genuinely happy to help.
Standard precautions apply. Don't leave valuables visible in your rental car, stick to well-lit areas at night, and be aware of your surroundings in busy shopping areas like the Capitol.
And honestly, don't let fear keep you from this island. We had a genuinely great experience and would go back in a heartbeat.
We broke down every dollar we spent in St. Thomas. Flights, car rentals, food, hotels, everything. Watch the full blog on our channel. So there you guys have it. These are things you must know before you go to St. Thomas. Did any of these things surprise you? Let us know in the comments below. So thank you so much for checking out our channel. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Choose out.